Welcome. Welcome to the 24th opening of Harvard-Westlake School. First, a big thanks for the fine music this morning, the Harvard-Westlake jazz musicians and their teachers, Ms. Wayne, and on stage, Mr. Costantino. Welcome, honored guests. Welcome, Harvard-Westlake faculty and staff, friends and colleagues, and welcome especially Harvard-Westlake students. We are two campuses but one school, and this convocation celebrates our unity in a most significant way. We are Harvard-Westlake and we are all here together. A special shout out to the two groups of students seated next to each other in the best seats in the house, the apex of our semicircle, the bleachers. Welcome to our newest and youngest students, our 7th graders, the members of the class of 2020. Seated next to them, the class of 2015. In advance of their year term as official school leaders, with appreciation for their many talents and great capacity for caring, we salute and thank the senior class. Opening convocation is a Harvard-Westlake tradition. It hasn't always looked exactly like this, the entire community assembled as we are now, but it has a long history. Like other Harvard-Westlake traditions and rituals, the honor code signing ceremony, senior ceremony, graduation, opening convocation is a link to our past and a connection to our future. We take this intentional time out to embrace our history, to recommit to common purpose, and to give thanks. So what elements of our past, our history, do we honor today? First, we honor strong student leadership, a hallmark of our school. Our student leaders will be invested today, committing to serve our school in unique and powerful ways. In a few minutes, our head prefects will convey, for the first time, their leadership aspirations. Today's ceremony also honors the two schools that are Harvard-Westlake's parents, so to speak. Today's ceremony has Harvard School roots and Westlake School roots. Our past underlies our present. At some point in its 100-year history, Harvard School student leaders, then as now called prefects, began wearing the symbolic red and black robes that you will see today. Embroidered into the lining of each of the prefects' robes are 23 names, the names of every Harvard-Westlake prefect who has ever worn that robe. At some point in its 100-year history, the young women of Westlake School adopted the motto, Passant quia posse videntur. They can because they think they can. And that forceful and optimistic declaration became Harvard-Westlake's motto and is now embroidered on the front of the prefects' robes. Dear students, you are part of a continuum of girls and boys, men and women, who have learned at Harvard and at Westlake and at Harvard-Westlake and have gone on to do great things, to live lives of integrity and purpose. Our school's motto is, they can because they think they can, and not, I can because I think I can. And that brings me to what I believe is the most meaningful about our opening convocation tradition. Here, all together in one place, teachers and students, staff members and parents, 7th graders and seniors, we are reminded of the strength of our community. And we are reminded of our interdependence and enhanced capacity to do wondrous things when we work together. We can because we think we can, but we need each other. It's entirely likely that you're sitting next to a friend right now, and it's quite possible that you became friends with that person here at school. And it wouldn't be surprising if that friend became an even better friend when she or he helped you meet a challenge, get through a tough time, become stronger in some way. If that is the case, then I encourage you to find some time today to thank your friend, either overtly or with some small act of kindness. We intentionally have taken this time out, this hour on the first day of school, to convey our gratitude for community. Extend those good feelings by giving thanks as well for friendship. Filled with pride and gratitude for this wonderful community, I wish you all a Happy New Year. And now, Harvard-Westlake President, Mr. Commons.
Good morning, everyone. Will all student body representatives please step forward? Do we do the prefects now? As student body representatives, you have been chosen by the members of your class to represent and serve them and the community at large. Will you share the burden of responsibility for the vigor, quality, and integrity of student life at Harvard-Westlake by striving to carry out the following duties honestly, diligently, and to the best of your ability?
We will.
Will you faithfully execute the duties of your office to the best of your ability without fear or favor?
We will.
Will you make yourselves wholesome examples to this school and for a purpose larger than yourselves, including the welfare of your fellow students and this community?
We will.
Will you exercise moral leadership within the student body of Harvard-Westlake School?
We will.
Will you embrace thoughtful consideration rather than simply endorsing popular opinion, acting as a representative of all students' needs and concerns?
We will.
Upper school prefects, one of your additional duties is to sit as necessary as the honor board for our community. As such, you have been selected by your peers to uphold and perpetuate the values embedded in the honor code. This is a weighty responsibility. Do you affirm your commitment to uphold the principles of trust, honesty, and integrity, both as the honor board and in your everyday lives as members of the Harvard-Westlake community?
We do.
Will you undertake these responsibilities with fairness and impartiality?
We will.
Having heard you affirm your commitment to the principles manifested in the honor code, I vest in you the authority to do what is right, fair, and just in our community under its honor code. Will all representatives please be seated? Your head prefects, Albert Choi and Sarah Winchell, will now read the honor code.
As a member of the Harvard-Westlake School community, I will let my conscience be my guide in my everyday actions and my endeavors at Harvard-Westlake.
I will neither give nor receive unauthorized aid, as defined by my teacher both explicitly or implicitly, from any source on exams, homework, quizzes, papers, or any other academic endeavor.
I will not steal or violate others' property, either academic or material. I will not violate the person or others or the person of the school.
I will pledge my honesty to the school community, and I expect others to be responsible and do the same.
On all my work, my name affirms my honor.
As is tradition, will the senior and head prefects please stand with their sponsors to be robed? Jackson Beavers, Matt Byer, Hannah Cateman, Jensen McRae, I invest you as senior prefects. Faculty, please robe. They look good, don't they? And you, Sarah and Albert, in addition to the promises already made, in the execution of your particular responsibilities as head prefects, in leading your fellow prefects, in chairing the honor board, in fulfilling the tasks and answering the call put forward to you by members of this community, will you be diligent and faithful to the best of your abilities? We will. Albert Choi, Sarah Winchell, I invest you as head prefects. One more round of applause for these prefects. Please be seated. And now, will all of you who have witnessed the inauguration of these elected officers, your chosen leaders, do all in your power to support them in the work that they have promised to do? We will. Thank you. And now, remarks from our head prefects.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back, seniors, to the beginning of the end. Welcome back, 7th graders, to the first day of the great paradox, school. An incredibly long journey that seems to last a lifetime. I can still remember my first day of school. I knew exactly who I was and who I was going to be. I was going to be a math nerd. And honestly, I really didn't know anything else about myself. I had an idea that I wanted to play football, but I was nervous and scared to join such an aggressive activity. Don't get me wrong, I was a Merman flag football star wide receiver. But the daunting challenge of actually hitting another person seemed beyond the capabilities of a small 12-year-old math nerd entering 7th grade. My parents strongly discouraged me from playing football because they wanted to protect my big head. In desperation, I turned to my cousin, a standout football player, who I expected to fill me up with courage and inspire me to play football. Instead, I got an hour-long conversation about how dangerous the sport was and the most insane stories I've ever heard, which I now am sure were made up to scare me from playing football. So, like any typical 7th grader, I decided to ignore common logic and personal safety and to take one of the first true risks of my life. I joined the Harvard-Westlake 7th grade football team. What seemed like a questionable decision 5 years ago, I now recognize as one of the best decisions I've made in my time at Harvard-Westlake. Football is my chance to escape from the stresses of my academic and social life, and as Coach Ruggles says, to run around and just be a kid. It's my chance to see friends I never would have made if I hadn't taken my first shaky steps in football cleats. Almost everything I was warned about turned out to be true. I've worked my butt off for countless hours every summer in the blazing valley heat. I've run hundreds of sprints, hills, and stairs, and I've shed my fair share of tears on this field. But what everybody failed to mention was the great gifts that football has to offer. I've learned how to have determination in the face of my greatest trials. I've learned that perfect effort is what I must demand myself in everything I do. I've learned that failure is never an end, but just an opportunity to learn, improve, and to grow. My highest highs and lowest lows have come from my time on this turf I stand on today. And even my lows have taught me invaluable lessons of strength and have given me the ability to push myself further than I ever thought possible. Never in my life did I imagine that football could give me so much, and it scares me to think how different a person I would have been had I decided to walk away from that challenge I was presented with in 7th grade. It would have been so easy for me to cruise through my past 5 years here at Harvard-Westlake, never taking the risks, never stepping onto the field. And there will be moments in our time here at our school when we are faced with the decision to either lean into the discomfort or to avoid it entirely. I know that at Harvard-Westlake we can develop the courage to face discomfort head-on, fully aware that failure could lie on the other side. So speaking from first-hand experience, I have one message for you. March onto that field. Never let fear stop you from gaining experiences that could change your life forever. Because after you've taken your first leap of faith, the next ones come easier. Football gave me the confidence in myself and my ability to speak out. This allowed me to run for prefect council, which led me to stand here and take the most meaningful plunge of all, taking oath as head prefect and speaking in front of all of you today. There's no place I'd rather be and no group of people I'd rather be speaking to because you have all given me this opportunity. Now I ask the seniors, how many of you guys remember that elephant ear speech I gave back in 7th grade? Yeah. That was probably the most terrifying day of my life. But I knew I could stand up in front of all of you because I knew there would be no judgment or laughter, only attentive ears and respectful listening. I trusted all of you to give me an honest chance to be your representative, and I thank you for that. You have trusted me to give our school everything and give perfect effort in everything that I do. My teammates have picked me up after falling flat on my face, and my teachers have given me chances to experiment, fail, and to improve. And now, I ask all of you to extend this same trust to the people sitting next to you today. Give each other the confidence to explore, to take risks, and to never just take the easy way out. So, if you ever feel afraid in the face of uncertainty, be glad because it means you're leaving the limits of your comfort zone. And be glad because you have 2,000 other people sitting with you today that are with you every step of the way. Instead of filling the unknown with expectations of dread or fear, fill that void with the expectations of exciting adventures and great lessons. You'll never know what you're capable of until you take your first steps onto that field. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Commons and Dr. Hybricks, to Albert and the other prefects alongside whom I've just had the honor of being sworn in. And good morning to our teachers, to the staff, administration, trustees, and honored guests. Good morning to Mr. Anguiano, Richard, and the maintenance crew. And most importantly, good morning to you, fellow students. To the seniors feeling nostalgic about their last first day of Harvard-Westlake, to the Sevies experiencing their first day, and to everyone in between. As we transition from the warm nights of sand between our toes to the long nights of books piled high on our laps, I want to share with you the most important thing that happened to me this summer. I bought a hat. It's a brown hat with deep blue stitching, cheesy, sort of cheap, and front and center, if you can't see, there's a picture of the sun setting over water, the backdrop for an elaborately lettered message reading, "Some days you have to create your own sunshine." Now, if you know me, you know I'm not really one to wear a cheesy hat. If you know me, your first comment upon seeing me this summer was also likely a sarcastic, "Nice hat." To which I would have replied, yes, I know, I wear it every day. And it's true, I'm not one to wear a cheesy hat, but just as true, I've worn my hat every day since I bought it. No matter who you are or where you come from, life doles out challenges. We deal with them and we forge on, heads held high. But sometimes, dare I say often, we can get weighed down by our troubles. As the days get shorter and the air gets cooler, sort of, since we're in LA, it can be harder to remember the lightness of summer. Days burdened with papers and tests, with homework and stress, with worries at home or troubles with friends. The days can seem cloudy or dark. Filling out the Common App, navigating a new campus, surrounding yourself with new faces, just knowing you're going to be a junior for the next 9 months, whatever the reason may be, every person here is going to feel overwhelmed at some point, and that's okay. So, if I can tell you one thing, it's this: find your sunshine. Find the thing that, on the rainiest of days, will bring you a spark of happiness or the warmth of hope. Let me give you a few examples. For one of my dearest friends, let's just call her Sloan. It's her baking business. We'll call the business Sloan Sweets and Treats. Sloan knew she had a passion for the pancake and the pastry, and she knew she had a would-be clientele in the HW community. So she created a thriving business. Whatever a day may bring, she knows it can end well if it ends in the kitchen. For another friend, it is her love of dance, the opportunity for artistic expression, the communication of sentiment without words, the relaxation of doing something she loves with people who understand every day in our 8th period class, that is her sunshine. For yet another friend, it's his art. Whether painting a piece for someone else or just losing himself at the easel, that is his escape. Each of these people does a million things here at Harvard-Westlake, but they all have one thing that is theirs, a light that is always burning in their life. Now to tell you about me. As maybe you have guessed, my sunshine is Prefect Council. It is standing here in front of you all, sweating under this 10-pound robe, proud to know that for decades to come, head prefects will stand in this very same spot on September 2nd-ish, and mine will be the one of the names on their shoulders. I want those prefects to stand here, surrounded by their fellow students, but I want them to look out at something a little different. I want them to look out at the best Harvard-Westlake that there could be, and I want us to take the next steps in getting there. I have dreams of a school where students are good, smart, and most important, happy. Students who are inquisitive and absorbent, who ask questions because they're curious, not because they can't keep up with the lesson being taught. Students who know more than just what is necessary to score well on an AP or SAT. Students who instead are learning what not only happened in history 1,000 years and 100 years and even 10 years ago, but what is happening today, how we are a part of the history being written, how 10 and 100 years from now, ours is the history that will be taught in these very classrooms. I want all accomplishments to be celebrated equally, whether academic, athletic, artistic, or personal. I want students to be valued unequivocally for who they are, and for them to be encouraged to be nothing but true to themselves. I want the prospect of college to be something that people are excited about more than they are stressed by. I want A's to be applauded, not expected. I want the relationships we already have with our teachers based on not only respect, as they currently are, but to be on mutual trust and accountability, too. I want to return home to a Harvard-Westlake years from now and see a community of happiness blossoming. While I do have a vision for an idealized future, I have dreams for us, for today. I have dreams that I want to be realities in time for the hundreds of us assembled here to enjoy them. I want to leave a school 9 months from now that we have changed tangibly together. I cannot do it alone, and neither can you. But as a community, we can do anything we put our mind to. So, let's start the year off strong with a homecoming formal for the ages. Let's carry on the tradition begun last year and make it even better than what anyone could have imagined. And with every passing day, remember, take a chance, find a passion, fall in love with what you do. Because when you find that thing you love, come the cloudiest day, you will have your sunshine. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Albert, for your thoughtful messages and your leadership. Thank you, Dr. Hybrex, for your words and your leadership. What a privilege it is to be here looking at our whole school all at once. And thank you all for setting aside time from classes this first morning to focus on our school community. Bringing the middle and upper schools together on one campus is not easy. But here we are, thanks to the efforts of many people, but thanks primarily to our maintenance staff. I appreciated Sarah's greeting them. Let's all give them a round of applause. As Dr. Hybrex noted, last year was the first all-school convocation in school history. While it was a resounding success, we concluded that it could be even better. How? Wetzel's pretzels. Allow me to explain. After last year's convocation, I asked my 9th grade English class how the ceremony might improve in the future. Their answer: you bussed us all over to the upper school, you made us listen to a bunch of speeches about community, good speeches, they were quick to add, glancing at my grade book, and then you bussed us back without giving us a chance to talk to each other. Good point. Smart kids. So when I conclude the convocation in a couple of minutes, middle school buses will not roll and upper school classes will not resume until we've had a chance to mix and mingle and consume a couple thousand Wetzel's pretzels, which are waiting for us under that tent. So now, you know that whatever I have to say stands between you and your pretzel, as well as some community conversation with old friends and new. It better be worthwhile, I guess, and it better be brief. Well, I promise it is brief. 26 words. That's the length of our new mission statement. Let me begin with just 4 of them, the 4 that emerged most prominently from the countless conversations I had last year with students, faculty, staff, alumni, and parents. Remember the conversations over Krispy Kreme donuts at the middle school? Remember the conversations over Sprinkles cupcakes at the upper school? The 4 words that emerged and that now serve as the cornerstones of our mission statement are these: community, excellence, integrity, and purpose. An acronym to identify them was given to me by Athletic Director Jason Kelly. EPIC. Excellence, Purpose, Integrity, Community. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. A few more words are necessary to turn those 4 elements of our identity into aspirations that capture who and what Harvard-Westlake strives to be. We strive to be a community that is diverse and inclusive. We strive to focus not so much on excellence itself as on the pursuit of excellence. We strive not just to learn with integrity, but to live with integrity. And we are here not just to discover a purpose for ourselves, but to discover purpose beyond ourselves. Put those phrases together, and here's our new mission statement. Harvard-Westlake strives to be a diverse and inclusive community united by the joyful pursuit of educational excellence, living and learning with integrity, and purpose beyond ourselves. One last thing. Did you hear the word joyful? Our new mission statement makes it explicit that our pursuit of excellence should be joyful. That doesn't mean hilarious or silly, though I hope there is always room for hilarity and silliness at Harvard-Westlake. The joyful pursuit of excellence means that our efforts toward achievement should not feel like duty or drudgery. They should instead give us a sense of deep personal fulfillment and have the very real potential for lasting satisfaction. It might be clearest in its contrary. Whenever our pursuit of excellence becomes joyless, it is contrary to our mission. Harvard-Westlake strives to be a diverse and inclusive community united by the joyful pursuit of educational excellence, living and learning with integrity, and purpose beyond ourselves. 26 words. It's not hard to know them. I would like it if we all did. But more important, and what I'm asking of all of us this morning, is that we live them. Enough speeches. It is now 9:45. The buses will load up again at 10:05. Enjoy a pretzel. I should back up. The scheduled start of 3rd period class for upper school is 10 o'clock, but in order for us to have time to enjoy our pretzels and each other, we're going to start those 3rd period upper school classes at 10:10. Middle school buses, my apologies to the many students who were eager to get to that 3rd period class. 10:10. Middle school buses will load at 10:05. Upper school students should head to their classes at 10:05. Those classes will start at 10:10. Enjoy each other, enjoy your pretzels, and enjoy your pursuit of excellence. Thank you.